Yo, what's going on, everybody? Blue once again. Backbreaker. Full game after post Great House #3 patch. There are a few things that I want to mention in this video. First, let me get to the footage. And something about unscripted gameplay is it lends itself to moments that if you just trust the game of football, let things play out themselves, strange things happen. Now, I've watched this replay a couple of times. Of course, it's a really kind of unreal catch in a lot of ways, but since the advent of the David Tyree catch, I'm not so sure things aren't always, possible with really weird catches. This is a really weird catch that's about to happen. Number 83, Harry Douglas. Yeah, he's a wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons. I haven't quite finished editing him. I think he's fairly darker than that in real life, but that's neither here nor there. He's approaching, and I'm playing the Falcons, still working on the home uniforms. I'm not sure I really like this yet, but Matt Ryan in the pocket. The pocket is great. I misflicked. I flacked when I should have flicked, and I threw this pass. I mean, clearly he's covered. But for whatever reason, I guess, the computer didn't decide to react to the ball. Now, this is a concern of mine. The computer's been extremely reactionary in certain situations, but then at sometimes, like number 58, it just doesn't seem like he's really concerned about the ball heading straight for him. Now, this is where things get a little strange, because you can see Harry Douglas has his arm reaching around number 58, and he still makes the catch. Now, this is how things get a little weird, okay? First, yeah, there's a little sort of Velcro action going on here. I mean, clearly, the ball turns, but the ball turns because it actually hits the defender, and he still makes the catch. But here's something interesting. The player, number 83, Harry Douglas, has the wherewithal to keep the ball pressed against this dude's helmet. He knows he can't get his arm through his body. You can actually see how the guy with the ball pressed up against his head is bent back, like there's still pressure there. And he rides him all the way down to the ground with the ball pressed up against his head. Now, it could have been a glitch. I don't know, but the evidence would prove, because when he initially catches the ball, he's got a couple of seconds to secure it. Most games would have just morphed through and he would have just gone through whatever animation. But he keeps the ball on the guy's head, and he rides it all the way down to the ground. And really, he hadn't lost his balance so much to the point that he was going to go down, but he knew that if he had tried to get back up while this defender is going down and the ball is pressed up against his head, he may fumble, I guess. I don't know. That's how it looks. So he just goes down himself like, I'll forget it, with his hands on the guy's back, applying the pressure that he needs to keep the ball. I don't know. That's how it looked to me. You be the judge, man. Am I being too nitpicky, or did I just watch a really sort of a bad play? Because this isn't the greatest, but it still ended up showing off something that's really kind of fabulous about the Backbreaker engine, I think. You let me know. But anyway, yeah, a few things that I've noticed about Great House after the patches, and I don't know if I'm doing something wrong. Please, again, let me know in the comments. But I've noticed an inordinate amount of drop passes. Like, if you don't get the ball in there perfectly without another defender landing a hit on a guy in the least degree, you're not going to catch the ball. I don't know if anybody else has noticed that. Maybe it could just be my sucky skills in the game saying, hey, you need to get your skills up and stop throwing these errant Madden passes, because plays like this that I just showed you aren't going to happen a lot. You know what I mean? But they can happen, So I've noticed a lot of that. I've also noticed that running backs are still a little fragile. The stammer button is great, but I'm gonna go for it on fourth down because it's a game and I don't really care. But yeah, the stammer button helps, but my running backs are still a bit fragile. Like the running game is still a bit underpowered. You know what I'm saying? The game is far more difficult, which is great. And I actually lost my first game today, set on the settings that I usually play, where I usually run the computer over. I lost. I couldn't put together a drive because I felt that the drop passes were a little bit out of control. But that's just me. Anyways, hit me up in the comments and tell me what you think.